Alright guys, it's Stephen here on BlueMoonRisingTV and we are on enemy territory outside Old Trafford. I've been joined by Gaz from Full Time Devils because, for one reason, Jose Mourinho is Manchester United manager. So there's going to be a lot of changes this summer, so we thought it'd be a good idea to look at all the potential permutations and the players that could come in and discuss our dream 11s. So let's get into this. Let's just go off the bat. I'm going to say in goal for Man City next season, it's going to be Joe Hart. There's been plenty of rumours about Ter Stegen and plenty of other keepers been linked, but I think they'll have it right in his hands if he drops Joe Hart. I mean, De Gea, is he going to be at United next year?
I think if a top European team comes in for him, I think he'll go. But I don't think any top European teams are actually going to go in for him. I think that Madrid are going to be quite happy with Keylor Navas next year, which was the main worry really. Bayern Munich aren't really going to want anyone, and I don't think Barcelona would either. So I think that David De Gea will be at United next season. And even without Champions League football, if he can be here, I just want him to stay for another year, because I think if he stays for another year, he'll see what Jose Mourinho is doing with the team. He'll see how he's changing things around, how we're improving, and I think he'll want to stay for further than that. But if a top European team does come in for him, then I wouldn't actually blame him for leaving, to be honest, because if you're the best goalkeeper in the world, which he is, you don't want to be playing Europa League football. But I'm going to take a banker on none of the top European teams going in for him, and I'll still having David De Gea in goal.
So fax machine unplugged or something then, basically.
Yeah.
Fax machine's been thrown out the window.
Who even has a fax machine anymore? That's what I don't know.
Well, that's Ed Woodward in a nutshell. They're on faxes, they're just kind of trying to work out how to use it. Who cares? Microsoft Windows 3.1 still. But right back, basically City have got like Sanya and Zabaleta, and they're both pretty old, and it pays me to say it. I think Pablo Zabaleta is going to be moving on. That really hurts my heart, I'll be honest. A player like him should be at City forever, but you know, he's getting tired. So I think I'm going to go for a bit of a left field choice here and put Jason Denayer at right back. I think he's played a bit for Galatasaray out there. He's got young, plenty of energy, a lot of skill, and I think we'll see him there. What about yourself? Is Darmian going to last it out?
I think that, I don't know whether this is just a case of when we signed Darmian, I was like, brilliant, it looks like now we've got a reliable right back for the next few years. This is sort of like a Gary Neville. It's sort of it's a position that you don't really, it doesn't make the headlines when you buy a player in that position, but when you don't have a good player in that position, it's so obvious, and then it costs you so many goals. When we played Smalling at right back for so long, I was saying I hope he never wears the United shirt again because of how poor he looks at right back. When we relied on Valencia there, admittedly not at the end of last season, he was quite good at the end of last season, but in the past, you know, we cost so many goals there. So I'm still rooting for Darmian to become the right back, which I really hope he can be the reliable right back. And I think he'll stick with him, and I think that Darmian will improve under Jose Mourinho. So yeah, Darmian's my right back.
Yeah, I mean, people do need a second season, don't they, sometimes? I mean, you can't change every position as well. It's not possible, is it?
No.
It'll be a gradual thing over a while, but I think the centre-back is a big thing for City. We've had a questionable time at centre-back, let's be honest. We spent a lot of money on Otamendi, Mangala. I think City are going to bring in one of Laporte or Stones. We've been linked to both of them. Laporte is now apparently running again after his broken leg. Stones, I'm a bit unsure for 50 million, given the fact that he's okay, he's a good little player, but I can't see us signing both and then sacking off Kompany. I think it's going to be Vincent Kompany, presuming he ever regrows his legs. I think it'll be Vincent Kompany alongside another croc in Laporte.
Yeah.
So
that's going to be fun, isn't it, when you're playing bloody, I don't know, whoever Sterling at centre half next season. That'll be
Sterling at centre half and Phil Jones up front.
Oh my God! Don't
do you reckon he'll be taking corners next season, Phil Jones?
I tell you what, I don't think Phil Jones will be here next season. Never mind that. I think that our centre half pairing is, you know, we need to sign a player in that position. Daley Blind did do well last year, but he's not a natural centre half, and I want to see him moved into midfield. He's not in the first team that I'm giving, funnily enough, but I think he'll do a job when he gets to play there. So I've said that we're going to sign a player who Jose Mourinho actually signed while he was at Real Madrid, and that's Rafael Varane. And my two centre halves are going to be Chris Smalling, who has been absolutely outstanding the past 2 seasons. If he has another good season, I don't think there's any denying that he's become a world-class centre half. So I've gone for Chris Smalling and Rafael Varane as the two centre halves at Man United, a man who we have been linked to a little bit, and it would be lovely to see come to Man United.
He played for Mourinho, didn't he, Varane? He's a good player. I mean, I wouldn't like if you got him, I'll be honest, because he's a fantastic young player.
Young player as well, you know what I mean? It's just like, if you go out and get Laporte or Stones, everyone will raving about the young centre-half, we'll just match it and get Varane, I think. So,
well, then at left-back for City, I can't see us signing that many players straight off. So I'm going to just stick for cliche. I hope Kolarov just does one, because he's gone a bit crap, and being honest. He looks like he doesn't care anymore. So he can just toddle off back to wherever and just chill for a bit. Then for you, it's going to be.
It's got to be Luke Shaw. It's got to be Luke Shaw. He broke his leg early in the season, and I think that cost us quite a few points in the Premier League campaign. No excuses, because players do get injured, but it was a horrific double leg break, I think it was. So that ruled him out for the whole of last season, and we looked so much better when he was in the team, and other players looked better as well. Memphis on that left-hand side, you could see that them two had like a blossoming friendship, blossoming bromance going on there. He's still a young player. He's got a lot of pace, a lot of power. He seems like he's perfect for that Man United left-back position for the next 10 years if he can stay fit. So yeah, it's got to be Luke Shaw for me. But I think we need to sign someone for backup as well, because I don't trust Marcus Rojo there.
Yeah, fair enough. He's a good player. He had a bad break, obviously. No pun intended. A bad bit of luck, fair for Luke Shaw. But he'll be your number one fullback for a while, and rightfully so. I'm going to name our 3 central midfielders, because I think it's going to be a 4-3-3, which is very.
4-3-3 too.
That's convenient. That's good, isn't it? We'll cancel each other out. It'll be 0-0s next season again.
It's almost like we planned this.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? The secret's been given away. Fernandinho, for me, he's going to stay, and then Gundogan, pretty much nearly a done deal.
Yeah.
I mean, once again, even if he has one leg, which is the City way. Then I'm going to be controversial and name Paul Pogba. Ex-Manchester United legend there. So it might not happen, but he's been linked a lot. I'm going to just put him on there and just hope for the best, because he's the kind of player who could replace Yaya. A lot of pace, a lot of tenacity, and a star in the making. Your midfield free?
I'm going to go with Morgan Schneidlin, who's been disappointing this year for me. A lot of United fans still harbour a lot of hope for him, but he has had a disappointing season last season. But I think that Jose Mourinho will be able to get a little bit more out of a player like that, and and it's good to have a reliable defensive midfielder. He's shown that he can do it in the Premier League before at Southampton, so there's no reason why he can't do it at Man United. Morgan Schneidlin is the defensive midfielder. Then the 2 centre midfielders in front of him, I'd play Ander Herrera there, even though he's been slightly disappointing at the end of last season, but he's getting there because of how good he was the season before, and how he's just he's like a little terrier in the middle, and you need players like that. You really do need centre midfielders like that, and I really like Ander Herrera. I'd put him in there, and I'd put Wayne Rooney in there as well as a centre midfielder. Wayne Rooney, when he's played up front, has been very, very disappointing, but as soon as he was moved to centre midfield towards the end of this season, he has been absolutely brilliant. And I'm not comparing him to Paul Scholes, but he seems to be the closest thing we've had.
You're about to.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm about to say. He's the closest thing we've had for a while, but he does offer a little bit different to Paul Scholes as well. And I think that if he's another one sort of similar to what I'm about to say about Memphis Depay, where Mourinho should just say, right, you're the captain, you're a centre midfielder for the rest of the season now. And he will just improve, as long as he doesn't have to worry in his head like, oh, I might be playing there next week, I might be playing back there next week, could be in net next week. As long as he knows that centre midfielder is his position, then I think he'll do really well there and play just as well as he has at the end of this season, because he's been phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting, because that's obviously the reinvention of Wayne Rooney now, isn't he? He has to drop deeper, because it looks like Zlatan's going to come in for you guys, or Martial or whatever, or even Rashford. He's not the striker that you need him to be anymore. You have to find a space for your captain, who may be holding you ransom, but he's still one of your better players, on his day. For City, I'm going to just name the 3 that I see playing across the top. I don't know how they're going to fit in formation-wise, but I'll leave that to Pep, because he's a lot better at these things than I am. I'm going to say, just a little bit, he's done all right for himself, Pep, he might just make it. I'm going to say Aguero up top, obviously. De Bruyne is going to be somewhere around there, maybe left or right, we'll see. And then Leroy Sané is a name we've been linked to. Now, it makes sense given the fact he's been playing in the Bundesliga. He's got a lot of pace, a lot of skill. You've seen what he's done with Kingsley Coman at Bayern on loan from Juve, and he's made him into a bit of a star. I think you'll see someone like Sané, very similar to Sterling, I guess, but that's the name I'm going to put there just because we're linked with him and because it makes sense. It's a Guardiola kind of signing. Young, talented, skillful, a lot of pace. So he's going to complete my possible 11 for next season. And your final 3?
There's players that I want to get in there that I might not be able to fit in, but I really want Memphis Depay to be starting next season. And I think that Mourinho's the type of guy who'll be able to put his arm around him and really make him the player that we know he can be at Man United, because all we've seen is flashes, but he's not done it enough. He's almost been like a nanny type player last season, but I think he'll be a lot more improved, and I think that Jose Mourinho should take the risk with him and go with him and not go out and sign a left winger and stick with Memphis Depay on the left. Then on the right, I've had to put him on the right just because I think he'd perform better there than Memphis has, than Memphis would do at right wing, and that's Anthony Martial, who has to be in my team.
He's
the most. I'm the most sure when I look at him that he's going to be world class than any other player I've seen here at Man United. And I've seen the likes of Ronaldo, Wayne Rooney when they were younger. So Anthony Martial has to be in there. He is the future of Man United. And some people will be saying, why would you play him at right wing then? Why would you not play him in his natural position at striker? And that's because that place is for Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who I'm so sure is coming Man United. Well, I don't say I'm so sure, but
it's written in the stars.
I'm so excited for him if it does happen. I think that he's a bit of experience we need, because if you look at that team that I've just given there, it's a very, very young Man United team. So we need an experienced player who you guaranteed 20+ Premier League goals from a season if he can stay fit, because that is priceless. Any player who can guarantee 20+ goals is absolutely priceless. So Zlatan's in there, and that is my final Man United team that will pip you lot to the Premier League next year, I think.
Well, that's it, guys. It's confidence. So you think you're going to finish above us next season? In a word?
In a word, it's got a yeah.
Who would have thought that? I asked a United fan outside Old Trafford if they would finish above us, and he said yes. But yeah, that is our teams. That's our 11. There's going to be a lot of changes. It'll probably be totally different knowing how football works. But yeah, if you're a United fan and you're over here, go to Full Time Devils. They'll give you all your Europa League updates for next season. There. And Gaz has left because he's bottled it just like half United's board have done. Anyway, this is Stephen here on BlueMoonRisingTV. let me know what you think of the teams. Is this going to be a strong enough team for City to do the business under Pep next season? Get in the comments below, drop a like on the video, subscribe, and we'll see you soon.